Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Minecraft video on my channel. My name is KIllFeed, or Brandon here today, and I know it's been a long wait, but yes, the videos are coming back. So in today's video, we have a one chunk, very simple and very easy to set up iron farm that works no matter what, wherever you are. It will work 100% of the time. If you guys are interested in this video, go ahead and subscribe if you guys are new, as we're aiming for 50K very soon. And also hit that like button, as this is my first video back in about 2 months. Go ahead and let's go ahead and aim for 100 likes. So the original creator of this farm goes by the name of Ufin Gamer. He is a big supporter of my channel and of my Discord. He's a great man. Go ahead and go check him out. Link in the description below. Anyways, so what you guys are going to go ahead and need for this build is everything here in the chest. And you guys can go ahead and get a good look at it. The reason why we're going to need leaves is because this is going to help us figure out where the actual chunk is without using any kind of mods or anything. We don't need any mods to figure it out, but we're going to go ahead and use the leaves for that main reason. Alrighty guys, so for the very first step of this tutorial, what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to go ahead and find a starting point. Now, it doesn't matter where you're starting at because we're going to be moving it. But anyways, you're going to go ahead and place down one piece of leaf, and now you're going to go about 20 to 30 blocks in each direction with however many leaves you brought. And this is mainly because we're going to find a chunk. Now, I know you guys are saying a chunk is 16 by 16, but you never know if you're in the middle, on the edge, or something of a chunk. So let's just go ahead and come roughly to the middle of this thing, and we'll figure out exactly where the middle is whenever we figure out where the chunk is. But that should be enough right there. Let's go to the other side and do the other side. So you should have something that looks like this. Now, it doesn't have to be the exact number, but it can be something of a rough estimate. Alright guys, so once you have your plus figured out, go ahead and pause your game, go to settings, go all the way down till video, and go down to fancy leaves. Now what we're going to go ahead and do with that, we're going to go ahead and turn it off. And then now what we're going to do, we're going to find one piece or one corner of the actual chunk at a time. So go ahead and come to the edge of one of your plus signs, or the edge of one of your plus signs, and go ahead and place down a leaf block. Now what this is going to do is that this is going to figure out where your chunk actually is. Now, as you guys can see, there's a hole underneath. Now if you were to turn the leaves on and come to the middle and place a block, and then go ahead and turn the leaves back off, or fancy leaves back on, actually, you can figure out where your chunk actually is. As you guys can see, the hollow areas in the ground is actually the chunk. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to take note that this block right here is one edge of the chunk, and now we're going to go to another edge of the plus sign, and we're going to go ahead and go down, and we're going to place a block a little ways away, and we're going to come in. As you guys can see, it is right here. Now, with this being said, this is the part of the chunk wall, would be this is the 16th block, and now we know that that is the 16th block, and it should be this one right here. So whenever we do this, it's going to update the chunk inside, as you guys can see. So that is one edge right here, so we can go ahead and knock away the back ones on each side. Now this is kind of tedious and kind of slower than how Oof did it, but it is still very effective. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is that we're going to pause it, go to settings, and you're going to go back down to video, go all the way back down to fancy leaves, go ahead and turn it back on. Now as you guys can see, nothing has updated. Go ahead and come down to the middle, press it down, and then go back out, and as you guys can see, we have our edge of our chunk border. Now what we're going to go ahead and do now is that we're going to go ahead and pause it, go back in the settings, go back down to video, go back to fancy leaves, and turn it back off. And then we're going to repeat the process on the other side, and we're going to do that 2 more times. So go ahead and come to this corner right here, or your other corner. Go ahead and place down a block, and then as it updates all the way in, as you guys can see, it's right here. So this is the chunk wall, and as we know, that's the chunk wall right here. So we have to find it. It's this block right here, and it comes right here just to make sure. Yep, boom. So we have 2 walls down. So as you see, we have 2 walls down of our chunk. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to rinse and repeat the same process as before. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys on camera. You guys can go ahead and skip ahead a little bit, but I do want to make sure everyone understands it. So we're going to go ahead and do it one more time, and I'll probably skip out the last section over here. So just remember, once you place that block down, go ahead and break it. Go back to video, go all the way down to fancy leaves. Now, when we place that block down in the beginning, is to go ahead and update the chunk to show that we can figure out where the chunk is with the non-fancy leaves. So as we turn it back off, go ahead and come to this side right here, place a block down, and it should update all the way in. So as you guys can see, it's right here. But as we know before, if we go ahead and come to this block, we know that this one is the chunk wall, and we can go ahead and knock away these. Now, yes, the chunk did update, but that is okay, as we do know where it is, and it's not that hard to figure out. Again, if you guys make that mistake as I just did, go ahead and just go rinse and repeat, turn it back off, update it, redo it, and go ahead and place out your chunk border. Okay, guys, so remember, once you place that block down, go ahead and break the remaining blocks behind it so you guys know where the actual wall is of the chunk borders. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is that we're going to rinse and repeat the same step 2 more times. So I'm going to go ahead and show it to you one more time, and if you guys want, go ahead and skip ahead about a minute or two, and you guys can go ahead and see the rest of the tutorial. But anyways, go ahead and turn off fancy leaves. Come to this corner right here. Go ahead and place a block right there. Close enough. Anyways, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is that we know that right here is the chunk wall, and we know that this is the chunk border right here. So we're going to go ahead and jump and place a block right here, and we know everything to the right of this block is not in the chunk. So go ahead and get rid of all of these, and then you're going to go ahead and rinse and repeat the step on this side right here. And honestly, if you just want to figure out by yourself what you want to do, you want to come up and line yourself up with this block and this block, and just know that it is going to be right there. And that is the last and simple step to this thing. So if you guys skipped ahead and wonder what happened, go ahead and just rewatch the video. But anyways, so now that we have this marked out, what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to go ahead and outline it in leaves. So now that you guys have outlined it, now we have our official chunk for our iron farm. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, guys, so for the next step, what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to find the center of our square. So easy way to do that is go ahead and go all the way across, and simply go ahead and do it again, and then make it a 2x2. So as you guys can see, we actually found the center of our square. Now it is pretty simple, but if you guys want to know, just go ahead and do the center 2 blocks of 14, because you don't count the 2 corners of 16, so the center 2 of 14. Okay, guys, so for the next step, what you want to go ahead and do is go ahead and grab an indicator block. I'm just going to use leaves because I like using leaves. But anyways, so what we're going to do, we're going to come to the corner right here. You're going to count 3 blocks. So the corner's 1, so that's 1 block, 2 block, and then 3 block. Go ahead and replace that with your indicator block. Now you need to do this on all 4 sides. So 1, 2, and 3. So what these are going to be used for is that this is going to be the actual place above you where the villagers will go. They'll only go like 10 blocks in the air, but that's where your villagers will go. This is just an indication block for you for later, and yes, you do need them. Okay, guys, so what we're going to go ahead and do now is that we're actually going to build our collection system. So what we're going to go ahead and do is that you're going to go ahead and knock out these 4 leaf blocks. Now, what I like to do is to place 2 double chests down here, because it will get kind of hectic pretty quick with this farm. So we're going to go ahead and place down our 2 double chests, and we're going to place down our 4 hoppers. Now, this part is pretty tricky, and you do need to follow this pretty close. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it around with leaves, and now we're going to go ahead and keep that there, and we're going to place in our minecarts with hoppers. So you're going to go ahead and place 2 on the same side. Come to this side and break the leaves, crouch, and if you guys can, go ahead and grab the hitbox of the rails. Now you need to destroy the rails so these minecarts will not go crazy. Go ahead and place back the leaves. Go ahead and crouch and place your 2 more rails on top. Go ahead and break. Go ahead and place your minecart with hopper on top of the rails. Go ahead and break these 2. Now they will not fly out because the rails are pointing at the same direction. Now if they're pointing to the leaves, don't break the leaves. Go ahead and break them on the other side where it is flat against. So as you guys can see, the hopper with the minecart will not move. Now what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and keep this encased with leaves, because if not, these hoppers will move. You don't want that. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to put 4 blocks on top of magma blocks, because now this is where your floor will go for the actual farm. If you throw a leaf on there, it will go through into your chest down below, one of these chests right here. Obviously that's our oak leaf. So that is your collection system. Very simple and very efficient. Alright, guys, so once you have your collection system done, what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're just going to add another ring around the center point here, because this is where your actual collection system will be. This is the center of your farm. Now, just remember that these are your centerpieces. So if you guys want to, just for now, go ahead and place some leaves on top or some kind of indication block that that is your center. These are temporary. They will be removed. Alright guys, so for the next step of this farm, what you're going to do is that you're going to go out 8 blocks in total. So the center block is going to be your number 1 block. So this is 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And an easy way to know if you did the right distance is that it's going to be the edge of your chunk border. So we're going to go ahead and do that on all 4 sides, and then we're going to fill in this massive area with magma blocks. And if I didn't make that very clear before, the center point needs to be magma blocks because this will speed up the process of your farm because it will help kill the iron golems quicker. But it does not have to be, but if you want the quickest way of killing them possible, go ahead and make it magma blocks. Okay guys, so for the next step of this tutorial, what we're going to do is that we're going to go out 1 and up 1, just like that. And what we're going to do, we're going to go out 3 like this, and we're going to go ahead and make a huge ring all the way around. Now make sure your corners are done properly. If you guys want to know how to do your corners, go to the other side, go out 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then go ahead and line it up. And then now our corners are done properly for our water system later. So go ahead and make this big ring all the way around. So for the next step of this farm, go ahead and go out 1 and up 2 and make a glass wall all the way around yet again. But this one will only be 1 layer thick. So go ahead and do this all the way around. Okay guys, so for the next step of this farm, we're going to go ahead and add in our villagers. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to find the exact location where we need to put these villagers. So what we're going to do is that, you remember whenever I told you guys to mark out the 4 little corners underneath? Yeah, we're going to be using them right now. So what we're going to do, we're going to go 3 blocks from this corner. So 1, 2, and 3, and as you guys see, there is a leaf down there, so that is an indicator block right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cover that back up since I know where it is now. So 1, 2, 3. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go up 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the 3 blocks underneath need to go. The 4th block is what they're gonna stand on. Now we're gonna do that same thing in all 4 corners. Alright guys, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to make the little pods for them. So it's very simple. We're just going to go up, go out, and then up 2 just like that on all 4 sides. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little trick with the trapdoor. So now that you have this is the actual pod that they'll sit in, and then on top we'll cover that a little bit later. But go ahead and knock out 1 pane and then place a trapdoor and close it just like that, because we do have to add water into these villagers later. So go ahead and do this 4 times on these 4 blocks. Alright guys, so for the next step, we're going to be adding our villagers. Now you guys can get them up here with a minecart and rail. Now it is going to be very challenging and very frustrating, I understand, and I'm sorry, but you do need 20 villagers. So what we're going to do, that is a temporary block right there. We're going to go ahead and use 5 villagers in each pod to make 20. 5 times 4 is 20. And we do not want babies, and we do not want nitwits. Those are the 2 things you don't want. You need villagers with professions or that can work. So what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to count out 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to go ahead and destroy this block right here. But before we do anything else, we're going to go ahead and mark out our beds. Okay guys, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is that you're going to go ahead and come to this magma right here. Now, no, it's probably going to be burning you, so go ahead and crouch. But anyways, you're going to count up 3 blocks from the magma. You remember I had you put these temporary blocks here for whenever we do our killing system. So go ahead and count up 3 from here. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to go ahead and make a solid 2 by 2 just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and come on top. Okay guys, so for the next step of the tutorial, go ahead and come to each side, and we're going to add 2 blocks to it. So you see right there we added 2, and you're going to go ahead and add 2 to this side, and we're going to fill in the gaps. And then go ahead and add 2 to the center part again, and then we're going to do 2. And then now you can just do this side because you know we've done all the other sides. Now what this is going to do, this is going to be room for 18 beds. Do not place anything right now because we have to add 2 more spots for 2 more beds. And also we have to add beds as we add villagers and their workstations together so they can link. So go ahead and leave it just like this until the next step. Alright guys, so for the next step, go ahead and pull out your map. Now you're going to be looking for your arrow to be pointing to the north. So the north is the top of your map. Now, whenever you figure that out, we know that these 4 blocks right here are the center because every other spot has 2 added onto it. So now that we're here, we're going to come to this block right here on the right side of the center. So this is the center. We're going to go to the right side, and we're going to go down 1 block from the edge and place your bed. Now, this spot right here is going to be the spot where we start adding our beds. So we're going to go ahead and add up to 5 beds. I may have said 5 beds, but go ahead and add 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 beds. So now, before we actually link up the villagers, before we get started, go ahead and place a temporary block over them, as we're going to destroy these blocks right here, because these blocks are actually going to be holding the workstations for the villagers. So go ahead and place down a workstation, and as you guys know, 1 villager will link to it right there. And then go ahead and place 1 down on top of this little trapdoor. Go ahead and make sure you're crouching and place 1. As you guys can see, they get linked up to it. Go ahead and jump and crouch right here. Wait till 1 links. Place 1 right there. 1 will link. And then go ahead and remove this block right here. Keep crouching. Place 1 there. And place a fletching table. And as soon as you see that, that means something has linked. And you can actually hear them working. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and add in our villagers, but before we add them in, we're going to go ahead and add in our extra beds, because we do need 4 more beds. Remember, there's 6 here, so we're going to place 1 here, here, and here, and then what we're going to do, we're going to come to this part right here, right in the middle, and we're going to add in 2 more, and then we're going to add in our extra beds. So there is 10 beds. If you guys want to count them, go ahead, but we're going to go ahead and add in our villagers. Now, no nitwits or no mini baby villagers, so that's 1, 2, 3, and there's a baby one, so go ahead and open that up, and let's see if we can get him out. Okay, so now that we got him out, we just need 3 more, so 1, 2, and 3. So now that we have all 3 of our villagers, what we need to do is go ahead and place a temporary block over them. Go ahead and knock out that block, and then now we can knock out these around them because they cannot escape. So we're going to go ahead and get them workstations. 1 right here, and they link up immediately. Go ahead and place 1 on top of this crouching table, or on top of this trapdoor if you can. Place 1 here, there, and of course we have to place 1 on top, and they're all working away. Now I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process on the other side. I'll see you guys when I'm done with that. Okay guys, so once you're done, it should look something like this. Now whenever you're done with that, as you guys can see, we have an iron golem spawn. Go ahead and place carpet on top of all of your workstations, because if not, iron golems can spawn up here and will just sit up here and not move at all. And this will help cause them not to spawn, and they actually won't spawn at all. So go ahead and do that on top of your workstations. Alright guys, so for the next step, what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to go ahead and destroy every block underneath this thing that is holding up the beds. Now, do not destroy your original placement of your center of your farm. We're going to keep that for an extra minute. We will be getting rid of that in a second, but just make sure you keep it for now. So for the next step of this farm, go ahead and come to the center of your farm, indicated by the leaves or the temporary blocks you put on top of your magma blocks, and you're going to go ahead and destroy the 4. Now make sure you do remember them. Go ahead and put signs down very quickly so you know exactly what 4 it is. Now, it doesn't matter if it's leaning like that. I just like to fix it because I'm OCD. You do want to do this on magma blocks because you don't want to put it on solid blocks because it won't collect your actual iron or anything. So go ahead and just keep it with the magma blocks. Now, once you have your 4 signs just like that, go ahead and crouch and place a sign on top of your other signs just like that. Now, it doesn't matter if it's turned, but I'll go ahead and fix it because my OCD is going to kill me. Okay, so now that we have this done, we're going to go ahead and add in our other layer of signs. And all we do for that, we just come right here and we place the sign just like that. And we're going to go ahead and place it on the edges so it's completely encasing the center. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides. So you should have something that looks a little like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to add an extra sign each way just like this. And then we're going to add a few extra signs in the center. So keep doing this on all 4 sides. Just add 2 more, just like I am here. And then you're going to place one on this block, on that sign there, right there. So it's 3 across. And then on this one, do it on this side. And last but not least, on this side as well. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is you're actually going to place a sign on top of this sign, just like that. And you're going to do it on this block here. And go ahead and do it on this one right here. I'm going to just go ahead and show you guys so I can go ahead and rinse and repeat it. So it should look like this. Now do that on all 4 sides, or really do that on 2 sides and just make sure the other ones are standing up. So it will be blocking in the lava. I placed that in the wrong spot. Where did I place that sign? Oh, down there. Go ahead and do it on all 4 sides so it's encasing the lava. And I'll show you guys what it should look like at the end. Okay, guys, so this is what it should look like at the end. Go ahead and get your good screenshots so you guys can go ahead and work on it while you pause the video. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to come to the center 4 signs right here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to pick 2 signs that we want to go ahead and put the lava on. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to put on that one and this one. Make sure they are diagonal from each other. And yes, you do want 2 buckets of lava. So what we're going to go ahead and do now is that we're going to be placing in our water. One of the last and final steps to this farm for it to be successful. Go ahead and go to each corner of your farm and place water on the second high block in the corner. So you should have something that looks a little like this as the water finishes flowing. Now what you want to go ahead and do is that on 2 of the sides we want to make a solid V, and on 2 of the sides you want to actually be touching the water. So I'm going to vote on this side, I'm going to touch the water. So as you guys can see, as I place water all the way down, there is no V-shaped water. But on this side, we're not going to place water here. We're going to place it right here. So as you guys can see, there is a V here and there isn't a V here. So this will help not cause a little stagnant space right here in your farm, and will not cause any kind of iron golems to get out. So remember, on 2 sides you want the actual V, and they need to be across from each other, and the other 2 sides they need to be touching. So this side needs to be touching with the water, and we're going to go ahead and do that on the whole side. And then this side is the side we don't want to place it here. We're going to place it right there where that golem is, and we're going to go ahead and do that all the way down. And then I'm going to place it right there just to make sure I don't mess up. So now that you have this done, your farm is practically done. So now what you want to go ahead and do is that you want to go ahead and go under your villagers like this, and you do want to place water in here. And now, yes, it will be kind of hard, but you do want to do that because it will help you with them not to delink from their workstations or their beds, so they can constantly work and never ever have this farm slow down. So go ahead and do this on all 4 sides, and I just messed up. That's okay. Okay, go ahead and do that, and I'm going to mess up, but there we go, and there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and run a speed test for you guys on this farm. I don't know what the rates does, but Oof said it is pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and run the rates, and I'll see you guys after the time lapse. Alright guys, so the 10-minute timer just went off, and as you guys can see, there were some slow bits, but there was some really fast bits. So hopefully the fast bits outnumber the slow bits. So we're going to go ahead and wait for that iron golem to go ahead and get killed by the lava. I'm going to pull up my calculator so I don't mess up here. Clear that. So as you guys see, we got 37 in one chest, and then we got an additional 40 in the other. Makes it 77. So that was 10 minutes. Times by 6, because 10 times 6 is 60 minutes. That's 462 iron an hour. Now that may be luck, because I think on average on a bedrock farm is around 300 to 350. So this farm was doing pretty good for a little bit. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, go ahead and leave a like on it if you guys find it any kind of useful, or if you're going to build it in your world, go ahead and let me know down in the comments down below. Also, follow me on all social medias down in the comments down below. And again, I'm so sorry for taking such a long break, but I've had some personal things to take care of. But I am back, and I'm planning to upload every single day of October. We're going to see how that goes, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.